One of the central focuses for Venture Forward is diversity, equity, and inclusion. Scientific studies have shown over time, and we're all very rooted in STEM, that heterogeneous teams make far better decisions because we look at the problem from different angles. So having people that come to your table and feel inclusive and able to speak up, that are different races, genders, ages, come from different geographies, all of those things are incredibly important to add to the strength and our ability to problem solve, decipher, and understand where the best opportunity is and what the risks are in the portfolio that we're building over time.
I've been for a very long time an incredibly strong believer that significant venture-backed companies can be created anywhere, and that more importantly, it's crucial for every city, and I like to say every city of at least 100,000 people, have a vibrant startup community to help grow and develop and evolve the health of the city over a long period of time.
Now more than ever, we are at a tipping point where you have so many people in our society coming out of school or maybe even coming out of trade organizations who want to start their own businesses or looking at ways to access capital, who have started their own businesses in the past. And being able to connect those dots, I can't think of a better time to do it because there is more momentum, there's more excitement, and there's a clear need that we need to have more diverse dialogue at all of these boardroom tables to get to the best solutions of the problems that we're trying to solve.
My hope is that Venture Forward accelerates a lot of the trends that have been underway in terms of making progress towards a more diverse and inclusive and educated investing community. And it's all the more important that we band together and make sure that these steps are accelerated, not forgotten.
Venture capital is a career. It is a professional practice. There's a lot of institutional knowledge associated with that that's often transferred between generations at a long-lasting fund.
It used to be a mentoring business where senior partners would mentor junior partners. There's still some of that going on, but at the scale that we're operating as an industry, it's hard to deliver that one-to-one mentoring. So we've got to find other ways to educate the next generation at scale, really tapping the expertise of VCs that have been there and done that, as well as doing some case studies on companies that have either worked or not worked. Try to get as much information into the hands of the next generation so they can soak that up.
I think what is important is for people who are setting off on their own from their start through a venture capital fund is that they have access to that information so that they can make great decisions as partners with entrepreneurs.
One of the pillar programs that we have incubated under NVCA and are moving over to Venture Forward is called VC University. We run this in partnership with the UC Berkeley School of Law, and the goal around this program is to democratize access to education on venture finance for anyone who's new to the industry or looking to get into the industry to understand just some of the nuts and bolts of how venture capital works.
Education is key, and I'm really excited that Venture Capital University and sort of one of the goals of the Venture Forward programs is to also help with succession planning. As firms age and as people within firms age, it's really important to be able to pass off the expertise of the senior people to the younger folks as they're coming up and they're now becoming the new senior leaders in those firms. And so I think there's so many different avenues that education can play an important role.
Much as understanding history is important, conducting research is important because not that much is really studied about venture capital in any formal way, including the impact of venture capital itself. So I would start with making sure we really understand the impact that venture capital has had.
As a scientist and engineer, I was trained that once you have a hypothesis, you collect the data that you need to either refute that hypothesis or support that hypothesis. And that helps refine the next question you want to ask. So unless we're asking these types of questions and then following up with the measures that tell us whether we're on the right path or the wrong path, we can't improve.
If you look at kind of the distribution of venture dollars and therefore entrepreneurship opportunities today between San Francisco, New York, and Boston and LA, you probably have 70-80% of both the dollars and the jobs there. And so one of the things that I think research can help us understand is what is it about those geographies and those networks that have enabled development of the very important economic ecosystems, and what could we do in kind of the other 40 plus states that haven't had as much benefit that might be foundational to helping them kind of grow at entrepreneurial ecosystems from the ground up.
The history of the venture capital industry is incredibly rich, not just interpersonally or the stories of the individuals who have played such a significant role in the industry over time, but also the impact it's had on our country. The fact that all net new jobs in the United States over the last 50 years have come from startup companies, young companies, and the most prolific of those companies around job creation have been firms that have leveraged and had the benefits of venture capital.
I think our industry is at a point in time where we need to take a look at some of our past practices and think about ways we can make our industry more accessible to people, more inclusive, and to get the benefits of venture capital spread out to more and more companies. So I think this is a perfect time to be thinking about the role that venture capital plays and how to think about the future of our industry, both in terms of who gets the opportunity to participate in venture capital as an investor, who gets the opportunity to receive the advice and funds from venture capital funds, and our broader impact on the economy.